Hey guys, it's Ashley, your scrapping nerd, and I'm back today with a layout for the Iron Crafter Challenge from Peace Craft Love. And today's ingredient is stamps. And so I am using some elements that I got from my creative scrapbook kit, which was these Vicky Bouton Discover and Create. I have the papers and then the ephemera packs, and the stamps I pulled out was a Vicky Bouton print shop Happy Day stamps, and I did pull out a Kaiser Craft bubble wrap, and then the Tim Holtz leaf stamp. And I actually didn't use the Tim Holtz leaf stamp. I thought I was going to have leaves with my florals, but I decided they didn't need them. And then I did pull out a Thicker's daily reminder, but I didn't use any of that, and I didn't use any of the Vicky Bouton Discover and Create stickers. I ended up just using the ephemera packs for it. But I really liked this type paper for my background, and it had blue splatters on it, and that kind of was my jumping off point for my colors. This tends to lean more towards the purple and blue for the layout, but I did throw in some other colors so it's not too monochromatic. But I wanted to start with my Kaiser Craft bubble wrap stamp, and I'm using chipped sapphire from Tim Holtz Distress Ink to stamp the background. And I don't use this stamp very much because I don't like that the bubbles on the side are they're cut right in half, and so when you stamp it, it shows like a specific, you can see the block of stamp. And so I don't use it often, but for this I figured it would look really good, and I wanted to do a bunch of overlapping. So even though currently right now you can see the shape of the stamp, like the rectangle from the stamp, once I stamp everything all over the place and it'll kind of blend out. And so I like how that looks, and I like using the blue Distress Ink because it matched those kind of dots that came with the on the back of the paper. And I am scrapbooking this picture of my dog Yoda, and he's just sitting in my backyard enjoying life. He loves to sit and just watch his yard and soak up the sun. And so it's just one of those fun little moments of him. So that's the one I'm scrapbooking. And so I got the background with the bubble stamp down, and then I'm using the smaller flower from the Happy Day stamps from Vicky Bouton in the Seedless Preserve Distress Inks. And I am just randomly stamping them over top of my bubble wrap stamp just to create this background. And I kept pulling the photo in because I'm going to put the photo off to the side on the left. And so I wanted to make sure that I got some of those purple flowers a lot more towards the right so that you could see it. Because of course, once I'm done with the thousands of embellishments that I like to pile on my pages, you don't see much of the background. But it does peek out enough that this is why I do it. And I try to pull the photo in just to kind of get an idea of where I'm going. But I never have a plan. Like, I have an idea of what I want to do, but then especially when it comes to mixed media or stamping, it just kind of takes on a life of its own, and we roll with it as we go along. And so I decided I wanted to border the background with this purple paper from the Vicky Bouton collection, and I had to cut each side of the blue paper because I liked those dots and the kind of paint splatter dots, and so they're on the very edges of the page, and so I didn't want to cut them all off of one side. So I just cut, I think it's 1/4 of an inch off of all 4 sides of the paper so that I can just have like a tinier purple border surrounding the background. And I like how that looks, and this purple goes really well with the blue, and I think it turned out really good with this photo. And I wanted to, and when I cut for the purple paper, I gutted it because then I could use for photo mats and my other embellishments. And it's funny, we're doing Baby Got Scraps this month, and I probably could have done this layout with scraps. So it's a good idea for any of those scrap papers that you have, because all I did was cut strips. Well, you'll see. And so it's kind of funny because I'm like, oh, I should have just did this for one of my Baby Got Scraps videos. But I really liked this collection, and I really liked the ephemera that was in it. And so I backed my photo in that same purple background, but the paper has stripes, and so I keep all my stripes going the same way for my cut pieces and for the background, except for my photo. I made that one go horizontal, kind of with the same plane as the photo, and it just kind of helps differentiate the photo. It kind of plays a little bit of tricks on your eyes, so you see the photo more as if the lines were going the same as my background elements. And so I took this blue paper that also kind of had the lines within the paper, and I cut strips. And the strips I'm going to put behind the photo. And I want these strips to be all different kinds of widths and lengths. And you saw that I pulled out some washi tape. And so I will also be putting the washi tape behind the photo as well, which helps to kind of add some interest and dimension to these strips, because right now they're very plain. They just kind of lay there. And because there's not many colors or patterns, it's not as interesting. But you'll see, once I start adding my washi tape to these strips here, it really kind of comes to life for the background. And so I was liking how this was looking, and I wanted to get them kind of arranged because, like I said, I got to put my washi tape down. So I'm going to first ink each of the pages, each of the pieces. And so for the blue ones, I inked the edges with the Chip Sapphire, and for the purple ones, I used the Seedless Preserve. And again, it just kind of helps tie the whole paper together from what I did my stamping to that, and it also just makes those strips stand out from the background as well, because I did make this busy paper with all the writing even more busier with my stamping that I did. And so I'm just using some tape that I have, some double-sided tape, and I'm making it so that it's not sticking to the background just yet. I want to get all of these layers where I want them and kind of adjust them. And I thought I was going to have it more spread out behind the photo, but I ended up kind of clustering it all to the left, and I really like how that turned out. It just added that much more dimension and looked full without having to add any foam or anything to the back of the strips. And so you can see that, like right now, I have these two blues next to each other, but when I add that washi tape to the background as well, it really will just pop that out. But while I'm kind of getting all my layers straightened out, make sure that you guys check out all the information below for the Iron Crafter Challenge. Like I said, today's ingredient was stamps, which is fun. This is a challenge where you get a new ingredient every month to use on your layout, and it's always fun. We try to use up the stuff that we have, and stamps is always a hard one for me. I don't reach for them. I have so many, but I don't think to myself, oh, I should put stamps on the layouts. And I'm going to try doing this more. So I really enjoyed having this as my ingredient so that I could pull out some of my stamps that I have. And also, thank you to everyone that has liked and subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit those buttons below. I'd love to have you over here and we could be besties. It's just such a lot of fun to interact with all of you. And I appreciate those who have liked and subscribed. But see, I'm getting all my washi down, and this washi must be really old because it was hard. Like I would try to take it off is it a reel? And it would break and it would rip. And so I'm like, this is probably why I don't use washi as much. That's also another thing I need to use more in my layouts, because you buy a washi and you get I get a tube of washi tape, and I'm never going to use all of that. And then I don't know if that's just so old so that it sticks to itself. And so when you're trying to take it off, it rips. But since I was hiding the ends under the photo or other pieces of the strips, it didn't really matter. And it still added the effect that I was going for. And I wasn't too concerned about the edges that I tore. I wanted them to be kind of haphazard on the parts that you see. So in the end, it worked out good. And then I just wanted to add a few extra of the blue and the purple to the right, so it kind of like stair steps down towards the photo. But I really like how that turned out. I was a little concerned, like I said, with just the two papers, that there wasn't going to be enough dimension that you see within my background, but it did turn out. And then of course now I'm going to start adding all of my ephemera bits, and it really helps the layout come to life. And so one of the pieces in the ephemera pack was this happiest, and it's a vellum piece, so it's see-through. And so I love that. And you'll see I'll go through my stash and pull out the word dog. So my title is Happiest Dog. And I pulled out all of just the blues and the purples. I had that black frame that was sitting there because I wasn't sure if I was going to pull in the color black, but the one of a kind up there in the right had some black in it. And then my butterflies are lined with black that you'll see. And so it worked out good. So I moved that to the left side and just added some interest to that. And then with the word dog down there, I wanted to make sure I had something else. And I got these a million years ago. And so there's also this dog paw, and it says love. And so I wanted to also put that on the layout just so that there was something else that matched the title dog part. And I'm just pulling out, I found these little sunflowers that I liked. There was a little circle that said number 1, and I just cut that in half, and I put those on behind the photo on the right side because they match the same colors. I found some I don't know what those are, that like berries, purple and blue berries that I put up there on the left-hand side behind that flower. It says sweet little things up there on the top of the photo here that I'm inking. And I did ink all of the colored ephemera bits that I put in with the Chip Sapphire or the Seedless Preserve. But that is the layout. I really like how this turned out. This is probably as close to monochromatic layout that I can do. But I do like how it turned out. And like I said, thanks again, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.